everybody, how is it going? I hope everything is going right. Okay, let's start the new vocabulary words, the new vocabulary video, sorry. Okay, the first word that we are going to look at today is a verb, and is the verb tousle. Tousle means to make someone's hair untidy. And if we add the letter D to the end of the verb, to the verb, we form the adjective tousled, which means despeinado. Despeinar y despeinado. The second word that we are going to look at today is the verb struggle. Struggle can be a verb and can be a noun. And struggle means to try hard to do something when it's difficult or when there are a lot of problems. And we struggle for something or we struggle to do something. If we use a preposition or an adverb after this verb, its meaning changes a little bit. Because it is to move somewhere with difficulty. For example, she struggled up the hill with the heavy bags. What does this mean? That it was difficult for her to go up the hill because she was carrying heavy bags. And another meaning of this verb is to fight against or with someone or something to prevent a bad situation. For example, he struggled against the raiders. Raiders means asaltantes. Él luchó o peleó contra los asaltantes. The next, and struggle as a noun means a hard fight in which people try to obtain or achieve something, especially something that someone else doesn't want them to have. The patterns are the same as in the verb. And struggle for something, struggle to do something. Okay, the next words, because I'm going to explain to you two verbs and to explain to you the difference between them, because they cause a lot of confusion to Spaniards. Because in Spanish, well, I'm going to tell you what the verbs are, and you'll understand me. They are discuss and argue. Discuss means to talk about something, to decide something. For example, we discuss a problem. As you can tell, the verb discuss doesn't go with a preposition. In Spanish we say discutir sobre algo. In English we say to discuss something with someone. We can also say to discuss doing something. For example, they briefly discuss buying a second car. Hablaron o discutieron brevemente sobre comprar un segundo coche. And argue means to speak to someone angrily because you disagree with them. In this case we say to argue with someone about or over something. In this case we use a preposition about or over something, to argue with someone. And but argue also means to give reasons why you think that something is right or not, or it's wrong, or something is true or isn't that true, especially to persuade other people that you are right. In this case we can say to argue against or for something. For example, they argued for the right to strike, which means razonaron o argumentaron su derecho a la huelga. Strike es huelga y right derecho. In this case, argue doesn't mean discutir verbalmente, but razonar or argumentar. The second pattern is to argue something. In this case, the example would be, she was very tired to argue the point. Ella estaba muy cansada para razonar o argumentar el punto o el tema. And the other pattern is to argue doing something. They argue buying a second car, razonaron o argumentaron comprar un segundo coche, or argue that. For example, they argued that they needed more time to finish the project. Ellos argumentaron o razonaron que necesitaban más tiempo para terminar el proyecto. Okay, the words are over. Let's review them or go over them. The first one, tousled, and the adjective tousled, despeinar y despeinado. The second one, struggle, as a verb, pelear, luchar por algo. Struggle, lucha, as a noun. And the third and the fourth, discuss and argue. Discuss, discutir algo without fight, sin pelear, discutir, tratar un tema, and argue, discutir verbalmente o argumentar o razonar algo. De acuerdo, I'm going to show you how to spell the words, how to write them. Here you have tousle and the adjective tousled, to struggle as a noun and as a verb, discuss and argue. Argue. Very well. Now we are going to translate the sentences. The first one. Él era un niño con ojos azules y pelo despeinado. Él era un niño con ojos azules y pelo despeinado. Okay, I'll wait for you. Very well. He was a boy with blue eyes and tousled hair. Hair, pelo, hair. Her bag, su bolso, with your mouth closed. Her bag, su bolso de ella. Her, smiling, sonriendo, pelo, hair. The adjective goes before the noun in English. Blue eyes, ojos azules, tousled hair, pelo despeinado. Okay. The second sentence. Ese país está luchando por su independencia. ¿Qué tiempo? What's the tense? Present simple. Now. Ese país está luchando por su independencia. Independencia, independence. I'll wait for you. Okay. That country is struggling for its independence. It's, por la independencia, for independence. That country is struggling for independence. Su sería its independence, but for independence. Luchando por. Okay. The next one. Ellos luchaban o peleaban o se esforzaban por pagar sus cuentas. Cuentas, bills. Ellos luchaban por pagar sus cuentas. Okay. Ellos. They struggle to pay their bills. They struggle to pay their bills. Pay, pagar. Pay, paid, el pasado. Y bills and bills, cuentas. They struggle to pay their bills. Okay? The next one. Wait a moment, please. Okay. Él fue golpeado en la boca luchando con los asaltantes. Y golpear, hit. Boca, mouth. In his mouth. In English we say en la boca. In Spanish we say le golpearon en la boca. In English en su boca. Hit in his mouth. Él fue golpeado en la boca luchando con los asaltantes, raiders. Okay, I'll wait for you. He was hit in his mouth struggling with the raiders. He was hit in his mouth struggling with the raiders. Okay. The next one, la lucha entre el bien y el mal. Struggle as a noun, not as a verb. La lucha entre el bien y el mal. El bien, good, y el mal, evil. Okay. The struggle between good and evil. La lucha entre el bien y el mal. The struggle between good and evil. Okay. The next one. ¿Habéis discutido? No, ¿has discutido el problema con alguien? ¿Has discutido el problema con alguien? Remember from the other lesson, presente perfecto, has discutido. Discuss is a regular verb, so we form the participle adding ed to the verb. Okay. Have you discussed the problem with anyone? Have you discussed the problem with anyone? Anyone, alguien. Okay. The next one. No quiero discutir verbalmente contigo sobre dinero. No quiero discutir contigo sobre dinero. I'll wait for you. I don't want to argue with you about money. I don't want to argue with you about money. Okay? The next one. Ellos argumentaron o razonaron en contra de la pena de muerte. Y pena de muerte se dice death penalty. Ellos argumentaron o razonaron en contra de la pena de muerte. Okay, are you ready? They argued against death penalty. They argued against the death penalty. The death penalty. Pena de muerte. Death, muerte, penalty. Castigo. Oh. Okay, the next one. Ellos razonaron o argumentaron el que iban a ir a la huelga. Y ir a la huelga es to go on strike. Strike, huelga. to go on strike, ir a la huelga. Ellos argumentaron o razonaron ir a la huelga. Okay, are you ready? They argued going on strike. They argued going on strike. With ing, because argue and discuss, when we use a verb after these verbs, the second verb goes with ing, the same as enjoy that we saw in a previous lesson, and like can go with ing, the second verb, or to plus infinitive, and want to plus infinitive. The video is over. Let's review the words. Tousle, despeinar y despeinado, struggle, luchar, struggle, lucha o pelea, discuss, discutir un tema, y argue, discutir verbalmente, pelear verbalmente, o argumentar o razonar. Okay, thank you again for watching the video. I hope everything is clear, and I'll see you next week. Take care and kisses. Mwah.